Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Bone, Blood, and Blade and L5R Chronicle. I'm the Ravnos Archon. My name is Will, and I'll be your storyteller this evening. Last we left off with our samurai. We opened up with the Doji and his wife discussing the marriage they were invited to and what that could mean for them returning to the Dragonlands since her accident happened, since nobody really knows about it as part of her family. We established that Pete returned the lion samurai's katana to the encampment and gave them a heroic tale about what became of the unfortunate samurai's life. When he returned to his wife, she was visibly flustered by the letter. It kind of really set her on a gear that she wasn't prepared to be a part of. And they also received arrangement of traveling papers that were arranged for them by his sister, so that they can go to the Dragonlands directly following the Topaz Championships, finishing in 10 days' time. So that's going to be an interesting bit of traveling there. We shifted over to Tomorimori and Hideguro, who were on the beach after their liaison, their little field trip to the river. We got to see a little bit of the cleanliness that a crab goes through in the morning. It's a little get ready with me routine. And then they had a somber discussion about what happened and what the future of their relationship is going to be. We shifted over to the Soshi's camp, where we got to see him take some time to help out his apprentice, and they got to see a little bit of the anxious vibe that was permeating the students. And he ended up giving a bit of advice that may or may not alter the course of the events. But shifting over to the Hita's tent, we got to see him and Doji have a little bit of a candid conversation between each other. They shared a drink. They got to be honest and vulnerable, and the girl still ended up going back to Crablands. Morimori swung by the Scorpion encampment to pick up Soshi on their way to have breakfast with the Doji's wife, unbeknownst to her. And when they arrived, they got to see just how different the news of returning to the Dragonlands had made her. Afterwards, seeing the subtle threat that was laid out before them, they decided to have breakfast together underneath a small tree. And we got to see a nice little interaction between the two of them. And we got an established factual statement that Tamori considers the Soshi their friend. And then we got to see the Doji take one of their Shugenja students aside and give them a piece of advice. And we left off with them resting up before the gempukku ceremony kicks off in earnest the next day. You are still set to meet up with your new lion associate. Hello, everybody. It's good to see your faces.
Hello.
So, it is the next
Shalom.
day. It is the first day of the gempukku ceremony. The day has been laid out. Archery in the morning, poetry in the afternoon. The children, the students, have been invited to a breakfast laid out by Bayushi Saruman, the owner of the tea house. There is an extravagant hexagonal shaped table that has been laid out. The Scorpion students are sitting with their backs to the tea house with a clear view of the entire town laid out before them, as well as the courses and whatnot. To the Scorpions' left is the Crane clan. To their right is the Phoenix clan. And the three clans that are forced to kind of have their back to the town and to the proving grounds are the lion, the crab, and the dragon. Which, is just coincidental. There's no way that this was planned in any way, shape, or form. But um, our associates, our crane, our dragon, and our scorpion, still have to meet with Kitsune Koji to have their breakfast together. While
I thought
all
the only person who had to meet with him was Doji because he's the only one who didn't.
it's
Did
true,
we all have to meet together?
it is one of those things
Well,
where
in the
Will
spirit
Doji.
of friendship, we should all go because I feel that the biggest thing the group lacks sometimes is that spirit of friendship. And as the group's moral and spiritual center, I feel like it's important that we all come together and
I love how you
really.
say bold things. You just say them.
Just with his whole
I,
chest.
I just gotta say, I speak from my heart. Um, I feel that being honest and open and
Yeah.
communicative is the key to any good relationship,
If,
and
if
I
that
really want
heart,
this one to work.
yeah, and if that heart is in the deepest shadowy pit of hell, that's not his fault.
Correct.
Correct.
It's still a heart with feelings.
Yeah. So what if it's black and veiny and thick with two
What?
C's?
I think that we three
That
should meet
yeah.
before going to the lion to make the decision whether or not it's just going to be Doji or it's going to be all three of us.
Sure. Before we have that meeting though, while all of your shenanigans were taking place the night before, where do we find Kitsune Koji while there is a wild crab at a river washing his balls, while the dragon and the scorpion are being threatened in the most subtle manner possible, of course. And while Doji is helping one of the Asahina to become a better archer using what may or may not be cheating, where is the
Who
lion?
recommended that? I know I didn't give any cheating advice. I just recommended different colored fletching.
Kitsune, I myself will probably be out there, outside,
Mhm.
in the open, having the morning tea, and playing on a song
Okay. Are you by yourself
on
or are you with
on
your
the
monk
the
friend?
shamisen. If he's there, I plan on giving him a stern talking to
Okay. He,
regarding the events that took place.
Yeah.
Because is this the next day of
it
all
is
that?
it is the
Or
next day after the outburst, as
Mhm.
as politically correct as I can say that. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, you see that um, he rolls up very sheepishly. Normally, he's a very boisterous character. He loves life. He is happy-go-lucky, and as he kind of rounds the corner and looks up the road towards the tea house and locks eyes with you on the second-story balcony, his head drops, his shoulders slouch, and there is a very different countenance to him as he steps up and is taken to your table.
I'm just there, still playing my instrument. I look at him. I just continue playing.
He nods as he sits down. You're getting better.
Thank you, Togashi-san. And I just look at him. I continue playing, and like the sound that's coming out from the strings is pretty much describing the vibe and mood. It's almost like the soundtrack playing in the background of like, it's like
Yeah.
disappointment in a sense is what I'm giving off.
Yeah. And he the second he finishes pouring his tea, and he grabs the little rice ball of morning appetizer, you see the music finally hit home for him, and he brings his hands up and he grabs the back of the collar of his gi, and he comes around and brings it down to just under his neck. We have to talk about last night, don't we?
I don't know. Do we have to talk about last night? I do it in a sing-songy way to go with the melody.
You think I did something wrong?
I don't think you did anything wrong. I know you did something wrong.
Mm, this is the part where I ask you what I did wrong.
You embarrassed your cousin, sister. I don't remember the details exactly. Your family member. You completely embarrassed them. And I'm doing this all in a song, you know. I'm not gonna sing for you for everybody
No,
here.
no,
That's
no.
horrible.
I get it. I get
Uh,
it.
uh,
You give me as much of your character as
yeah,
you want to give me.
yeah. You embarrassed them in front of everybody and kept referring to them as something they have, and I just keep playing.
You
Something they have wanted to let go of, you know, in their past.
you have to understand Kitsune-san. And this is, you know, that when he uses your surname that he is he's being sincere. Because I think the two of you use your own names, your given names with each other.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
him picking up when you called him Togashi-san, he understood that this was a serious conversation, and he looks at you. He says, "You have to understand, Kitsune-san. When I grew up with them, they
And I and
were
I, I start playing an uplifting melody. Do, 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 do.
they, and it looks like it hurts him to acknowledge their choice to live the life that they want to live to be happy. Um, and it's such an alien concept to him. Like you can see the gears working, trying to put it together, trying to find the angle. The only time that he's ever had this much thought put into something is right before a fight, a tournament, something where he tries to attack a situation intellectually, and he feels so out of place that it's visible. But he says, I grew up with them being a certain way. This is difficult.
Well, they are no longer that way. Now they're this way. And they are friends. All of them. Dragon, yet we haven't met the crane. And and I say it because I'm surrounded by other lions, I'm guessing? Or
There
it's just,
there are
or other clans around
yeah,
us?
there is a smattering of different clans set aside.
Hmm.
The table that has been prepared for the breakfast is just for the students. So it's 4 seats per clan. So it's 24 students sitting in a hexagonal table. Their teachers and their representatives are kind of milling about. um, the crab delegation looks to only have two of the adults milling about. Every other delegation has at least 3 samurai, like fully fledged samurai or shigenja, kind of representing them. But you do notice that the crab only have 2, and as they pull up, the crane, the scorpion, and the dragon have 1 each.
Okay. So yeah, when I mentioned the scorpion, I want to say that is could be heard, and pretty much even the scorpion fella is nice. So these are possibly going to be friends of ours. I would like to be on better terms, after all. Plus, they are your family. Come on.
I will try. And he bites down
No,
to
no, 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 no. And I just start like, no, 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 no. You would not try. You would do. And I pass a glass of a cup of tea. You would do, Muriel. You would do. All right. We will do it. We will do it together. We will do everything together. And by together, I mean you, myself, and the 3 of them.
It's gonna be a long day, isn't it?
It's gonna be a cool and fabulous, fantastic day, my friend. Look at this. Look at the day. It's so beautiful, man. Here you go. Drink your tea. You you have that look on your face.
It's gonna stay there. He sips his tea very, very slowly, and you can see his face immediately turns to disgust because he is not a tea drinker. But he pushes through, and it is the visualization of the first step in his honest attempt to try to be a better person when it comes to his kin. And as he sits there with a sour face, and kind of like tries not to yak, we shift over to the Doji's tent. As Tamori and Soshi, I'm assuming Tamori's gonna pick up Soshi again.
Well, if this is the same morning, right? Then we're out having breakfast together.
No, this is the next day.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
No, that I just wanted to take care of their conversation together.
Heard.
But yeah, this is the first day of the actual gempukku ceremony, so we're
I
in our
feel
breakfast.
I feel like wherever I go, so she's gonna show up. So I'm not gonna go out of my way to pick him up. I'm just gonna go to Doji's tent. Even though I don't want to talk to Doji either.
Oh, okay.
We haven't spoken at all.
Okay.
I don't know where the fuck to go.
So
Start with
where
somebody
would
else.
you?
Damn.
So that okay, let's rewind it then, because I was assuming, and I apologize. So where do we find Tamori the morning of the gempukku ceremony?
Literally walking circles because they're like, I don't want to go pick up Soshi because then I don't know, he'll find me anyways. I don't want to go to Doji because I don't want to talk to him, but we probably should do the thing that we're supposed to do. I don't want to go to the fucking tea house because my cousin's gonna be there. So they're literally like in Sims, like stuck, like without a task mode, trying to figure out where the fuck to go.
Like it. I like it.
Tamori, if you keep walking in circles, eventually you're going to dig your way down to the core of the world.
He just pops up.
You're going to
like
wear
a
a path
cockroach.
through the planet.
How do you know where I am at all times? Is it my size? Like, I just say it's my size so I don't have to think of anything else.
Every now and then I get an impression from the spirits that someone's just waiting for me, and I inevitably arrive.
I'm unsure whether I should go to Doji and all 3 of us go talk to the lion, or if I can just not. I don't know if I can
Well-
handle my cousin at the moment.
You were taken by surprise when you ran into him last time. This time, the element of surprise is lost. Therefore, I feel that you have a chance to adequately fight this battle. You're
I was
not
going to
a coward
adequately fight
who-
it no matter what.
Yes, but if you don't show up to fight, then well, technically you do win the battle. You don't fight it. And where's the honor in that? You're not a coward.
I'm not. I just don't want to lose
Well-
my temper in front of a whole tea house again.
And I wish to not do the same display I did that time. In retrospect, your cousin is very large, and I'm only 63% certain I could have taken him in a wrestling match. So there's a chance I could have lost, publicly and violently.
Oddly specific number.
That is very
I
specific.
calculate things very well. So therefore, I feel that we both now know what we are getting into, and neither one of us are cowards. So this is a battle that you must fight, and I will stand by your side as your comrade in arms.
I appreciate that. I'm still not looking forward to it.
There's a great many things that I don't look forward to, but I have to do it anyway. It's the bane of being an adult.
We should probably tell Doji that this guy's looking for him.
I love that that was the segue after I mentioned things I don't want to do and the bane of being an adult.
There's a reason for that.
Apropos, shall we?
Yep.
Where do the little dragon and the scorpion find our crane the morning of the gempukku ceremony?
I would assume in his tent, but if not, I would. Wherever his daughter is where I'm assuming that he would go. So if he's not in his tent, he's with his child.
That's why I asked Pete the question.
Oh,
They would find
Oh.
they would find me outside our tent. Me and my daughter doing katas in perfect synchronicity.
Okay.
And I'm also doing it to get used to the balance of the new sword.
new sword.
Her sword.
Her sword. She doesn't
Yeah.
know it's her sword yet.
Right. And when you are using it, when you actually come out with it on your belt, her eyes are huge. She is like, she kind of sits there. She doesn't touch it, but she does kind of admire. She kind of looks around at every angle of it, and she's just like, "That is such a beautiful sword, Father."
It is. And I'm desperately trying not to smirk.
But she does kind of look at it, and she's just like, "When did you have this commissioned?"
So how am I going to tell the truth and not tell the truth?
Mm, fatherhood.
It was. Oh, I had it. You know what?
Hmm.
It's actually telling the truth.
Okay.
I had it commissioned as soon as I returned from. I forgot the name of that place. Where we had the big
Shiromori-Satoo?
battle.
Shiromori-Satoo?
Yeah, I had it commissioned as soon as we returned.
Oh. It is definitely of Kakita.
It is. Grandfather saw it. Grandfather was impressed.
Oh. And she kind of just nods and grabs her boken. And she squares up. Where will we start today?
I look around. What you were showing me last time.
Of course. And so Tamori and Soshi will walk up on them just off to the side between tents. and it is
Actually, you know what? Wait a minute. What the katas? There's one kata for earth, air, fire, and water, right?
Yeah. There's
So
elemental
me and
katas.
her are actually doing the air one together.
Okay. You will see them almost no hesitation. They are perfect mirrors of each other. Just one is smaller, lither, livelier, and more not quick, but definitely responsive. Whereas Doji is seasoned and methodical. His daughter is definitely not impetuous, but she wants to get to the next move of the kata as quickly as possible. So where it looks like Doji is lingering in a particular swing, those of you with at least 3 ranks in Kenjutsu will see that there is a method to the madness, as it were.
And as soon as I see my friends walk up, I give, especially the dragon, a smile. By the way, I don't
I
stop the
offer.
kata. I don't stop the kata.
Yeah.
Like
I
I'll look
offer a
and
bow.
it's still in the middle of my kata.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but
Offer a bow.
And as soon as we finish, I will bow back.
yep. And his daughter, you'd see as well the low, almost 90-degree bow.
I will turn to my daughter. I will tell her to go and meditate for a little while before the archery competition she has. I look at the sun. What, like an hour?
About.
Go.
Yes. And she comes over to Tamori, she grabs her hand, and then rushes off.
She takes after her mother.
That she does. That she
was
does.
meant to be a compliment.
It is a compliment.
Yes.
Her mother's the
Clarifying.
greatest woman I've ever known.
She certainly has a forceful personality.
You have no idea. So, tea, and you'll see off to the side. I have a tray with tea already laid out.
We have to go.
I believe we're going to be having tea elsewhere, and we wanted to invite you. We're going to war.
Excuse me? Why are we going to war? We didn't declare on anyone.
Oh, this war has been brewing for quite some time. The battle lines were drawn 2 nights ago, and we seek to take the field. Unified front being a necessity.
This is to the GM. Did I hear anything about this through the rumorville of the crane? Is it we talk almost as much as Scorpion?
You do. Even odds in your favor.
Even.
Of course.
It's an 8. Rumors have gotten to you about an outburst in the tea house, and everyone seems to think that everyone in the crane encampment, at least, seems to think that it was Tamori's fault.
I roll my eyes to that because I know Tamori, and Tamori outbursting is because somebody pushed their buttons.
Yeah. But the rumors are that they were the ones that instigated it, and that if it wasn't for the Scorpion, things would have gotten out of hand.
Hold on. A Scorpion defused a situation?
Your Scorpion diffused the situation. Specifically.
Interesting. Do I don't, so that's all I know. Okay. So, I'll be blunt about it. Is this a little bit about the outburst that supposedly happened?
No.
I know nothing of an outburst.
So, who are we going to war against? I would like to at least know who my opponent is.
A cagey foe couches his dialogue and song and metaphor, and his backup a mountain of a man who reeks of ignorance and
Like,
cheap sake.
I spread out my hand as wide as it goes and just fucking like put it over his mask, even though I know that doesn't fucking help. Just be like, Doji, we need to go talk to somebody, and they want to talk to you specifically, and so she's egging you on. It's too early.
I am merely using metaphor to paint a picture of what we're going to be encountering.
And I lead the way. I'm like, metaphor my ass. Let's get to the place we need to go.
You as I'm walking, I will be like, so you're not going to tell me anything of what you're getting me into.
There's just like a glare. We still haven't had a like proper discussion after our big kerfuffle. So there's still like a glare, like, no, we'll figure it out when we get there.
Someone is sent to investigate us. We already met with them, and it turns out that they are boon companions to one of Tamori's family, a family member who has a crass set of sensibilities and an inability to pick up on both subtext and overt displays of vision.
Translation, I have an idiot cousin who's here, and I know how to handle him, and it's fucking fine.
Okay, so to GM, all my time in the Dragon Court, have I ever dealt with her cousin?
No.
Okay.
No. In fact, even with all the time that you've spent in Dragon Court, you still, the only person you know that is related to Tamori Mori is their father. And
woohoo, daddy issues.
He is a hard ass.
Yeah, I never got along with him.
No. A lot of people outside of the Dragon Clan don't get along with him. But he is also one of the 3 names that's set to take over the Tamori family as their representative.
Okay. Well, then lead the way.
The investigator is a lion, if memory serves.
Correct.
So why was he sent to
ask you to bathe?
I'm very well bathed.
I don't know if that's bathed enough. He's very fixated on it.
I didn't bathe at all. I haven't bathed in a long time. I should have bathed, actually, 2 days ago, but I didn't. So, I hope he smells me.
You didn't splash water on your balls?
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's right.
I didn't get in that fucking river, not once. I still got grime. Let's go.
I have, however, bathed in the interim. I at least wash the night terror sweat off me every morning before I go.
You splash some water on your balls?
I do indeed. Both of them.
And I'm a crane. We don't splash water. We splash perfume.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Crane. I don't think any crane has ever splashed water on their balls. Like I think it's a gentle drip. Like I think there's like a little plate.
And then there's an incense of. There's a
they massage.
Yes.
An incense of cloves that I use to waft under them after, so that they also get that mysterious smoky quality.
Like in your gooch?
I just kind of do a little bit of a lift and waft.
Okay.
I'm glad we have the gooch covered as well, because I was concerned.
Mori-san.
This is a conversation I don't want to have anymore. I find it to be distasteful and uncomfortable. So we need to push past it.
Don't worry, we know where the line is.
Yes. Yeah.
Ball splashing.
As we're walking, I ask a question because this is a serious one. Mori-san, how far are you willing to take this war?
It's not a war.
How far are you willing to take this disagreement? I'm really asking how far, because
I've left my family once, I'll do it again. That's how far.
And I already challenged the fellow to single combat, so
I that stops me in my path.
Mhm.
I literally just stop walking and I turn and I go, "You did what?"
I'm sorry, it's hard to hear you from back there, Doji. Keep up.
So now I realize how far she's willing to take this.
Mm-hmm.
She did nothing.
Yeah,
They-
but she didn't stop you.
they-
Okay. They didn't stop
I'm
you.
flattered that you think that they could.
They probably could by asking you nicely.
That might not have registered at the time, and I was defending the honor of my friend. And there's that slight note of pride at the word friend. Because I have one now, and I am
Just
very
one.
happy about it.
Yeah, I had
One
a
friend.
I had a scorpion friend once.
Once.
And I just keep walking.
And that causes him to stop a little bit. Are you saying that I'm not friends with Tamori? Or that Tamori shouldn't be my friend?
I'm just saying. I had a friend once who was a scorpion.
This sounds like high school.
No, it was my baby. It was my first. It's not important.
Mm.
See that it stays that way.
And I continue to walk.
Okay. You will see that as you arrive at the tea house, the students are already gathering. The scorpion attendants are showing them to their places. You will see the same thing that I described. There's a hexagonal, masterfully crafted table. It looks like it was specially designed for this event. And each side of the hexagon is kind of laid out in the colors of the clan that they're associated with, so that they're clearly delineated where they're supposed to sit. And sitting on the balcony, at a balcony table for two, you, the scorpion and the dragon, will recognize the two gentlemen that they had an altercation with a couple of nights back. The lion has a shamisen that he is plucking away at, and the Togashi is sitting there sipping something that he does not find agreeable, because every time that he does, he sticks out his tongue like a petulant child.
That's him. And I kind of do that nod, like,
Hmm.
over there.
I produce a fan because it's very hot out, and I begin to casually fan myself. And I'm going to roll a thing,
Okay.
and because of my school, the thing is unseen.
Oh, you get a free raise to hide it, yes.
Yes.
So what is the thing that you're going to do?
I am casting Benton's Touch on myself.
Oh,
What's touch?
yeah.
Denton?
Benton's.
Benton's.
How the fuck do you spell that? What the hell?
Like Ben 10?
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
It's a
I was like,
41.
the dentist's touch?
41.
41.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So I have some raises to apply. I'm going to
Well, remember, you call out your raises before you roll.
that's right. Yep. Okay.
So that it's a normal
I forget.
TN of,
I would.
yeah. It's
I
a
get a
normal
free
TN of
raise,
15,
so-
and the free raise raises up to 20. Would have
Yeah.
raised it up to 20. So you blow the difficulty out of the water.
Yeah.
So by calling upon the air kami to whisper suggestions to others, you may cause them to perceive the target of this spell more positively than they otherwise might. That translates into a keep one bonus to your air ring,
No, plus your air ring.
plus your air ring to social
So all
skills. Yes.
social rolls
Yes.
for an
Okay.
hour.
Okay.
Well, after Murray does to him, I will literally walk right up to him and bow.
Yep.
I don't bow too deeply though. I do not like the fact that I'm being investigated.
Okay. So Kitsune Koji will sit there as the breakfast is coming to a close. Mirio is still unhappy with the tea selection, but you'll see somebody in very clear crane colors come up and just kind of bow to you. And immediately you see Mirio stand up and just look past him, and you'll see the scorpion and the dragon following suit, I think. Are you following Doji up?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna sit down.
I'm not sitting down yet.
Yeah, no, it's a table for two, so there's
Yeah.
no place for you to sit.
Perfect.
I'm like,
Extend a hand and wave someone to bring chairs without being prompted to.
I get up, and I'm like, finally, you must be Doji.
I nod.
And I bow, and I bow to each one of them, and all the way, like and my sincerest apologies for my friend the other day, and I stay in bow position.
And you
until-
see
return the bow.
the dragon that's with him just bow, and he is clearly looking over at the lion to get his cue to come back up. But he is
The only one here allowed to accept this apology is the dragon. So I like literally just step to the side because this has nothing to do with me.
But until Kitsune Koji comes up, Mirio is also kind of bent at a 45-degree angle, just head tilted in his direction, just watching.
There is a very slight bow back, but like the slightest of bows.
And a couple of the
Thank you for your
attendants
apology.
bring chairs.
I get up from the bow, and I'm like, now that we got that taken care of, let's all sit. Please sit. Let's all gather around. This is wonderful. The three of you here.
Mm.
Ah, and I look at Doji. I look to see how he has his hair.
Immaculate.
I look at him
There's actually one strand out of place, but it looks perfectly out of place.
I love it. I'm like,
Crane.
and I just look at him like, they were not lying. You really have immaculate hair. It is so perfect. Please sit. This is great.
So,
I'm
Isn't it,
motioning
Mirio?
for associate to take the seat that's in front of me, and I'm just gonna stand behind both Doji and Soshi.
I sit the second the chairs are produced because
Same.
I don't like standing.
Okay.
I've been walking around all morning. Wooden shoes hurt. I'm gonna sit down.
Okay.
So, because I know it matters, when I sit and I draw out my katana from my belt,
Mhm.
I keep it on my right side.
Okay. You notice that the Kitsune doesn't have a katana, correct? You only have the wakizashi?
Hello?
Ike?
Yeah.
You only have
What was that?
you only have your wakizashi, right?
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else, right? Let me see. Hold on. Where my weapons? Here we go.
Yeah. So as Doji sits down, he'll notice that shifting your katana to kind of stay with you, the Kitsune doesn't have a katana on him, just a wakizashi. So he's either a courtier or a shugenja.
Or he's
Do I-
like me and fights with the power of kung fu and friendship.
Do I see a fan anywhere on him?
More friendship.
That's a good question. Does Kitsune have a fan visibly on him?
No, but you will see the shamisen. You will see that.
Okay.
Definitely.
No fan,
And it's
but definitely
decorated-
the 3-string guitar.
Mhm.
and it's decorated. It's
So I'm
decorated.
automatically thinking courtier. So I've heard that you wish to speak with me.
I wish to speak to all of you, but I did not have the luxury of having your presence.
I
Like
had
I told,
I had responsibilities to your daimyo.
oh no worries at all. It's quite all right. But your friend, your scorpion friend, uh, great person by the way. We had a nice chat after everything.
His scorpion what?
His scorpion friend, right? We're all friends here, right? I'm sorry, did I assume?
Oh, evidently.
No, we're not all friends here.
Do you hear that, Doji? We're friends now.
Yeah,
Yay.
Doji, you're friends with Soshi.
Does it give you the vapors?
I'm-
Does it tickle you in your gooch where the perfume goes?
I
But
wonder.
yes, road smoke.
I wonder if this friendship will go as well as the last one with the scorpion.
but
Keep
yes,
running your mouth, it might.
So violent.
but, but
Well, I don't
As
know
I
how it ended, so it might.
as I explained to Soshi-san, yeah, I was tasked with such a tedious objective. Pretty much, I didn't bring. If I knew, I should have brought down the paperwork and everything, so I could have just given it to you so you can look at it. But pretty much, they want me to investigate because you and your friends, and I look over at Tomori when I say that your friends. Like I want to make sure I'm saying the right words.
Mm-hmm.
Or witnesses or part of a murder or something that took place. I honestly
I
I
prefer
haven't
to
looked at
think
all
of
the
us as a
details.
multi-factional alliance.
So
We
yeah,
wait. Yes.
something along those lines. I'm not sure. I honestly I don't
Witness
care.
witness the murder of who we're being investigated for.
Look at Soshi-san. Soshi has all the details. He read the scripts and the scrolls.
Oh, I must have forgotten to pass them along. I hand them over.
I take the papers and I calmly start reading them.
Yeah.
Apologies that I don't know all the details and
Out of game, Ben forgot that he had those, but this
Yeah.
is a perfect way to bring them back in because this is exactly how that conversation would go.
100%.
Yeah, you know, asking several times before we got here. Is there anything I need to know? No, there's nothing you need to know. Yeah,
Nothing.
nothing. Oh, here the
Nothing.
documents. Nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that actually
Oh.
this all played out perfectly. But no, I did have them, and
Yeah.
Ben actually forgot. Ben, you know,
Where's
Yeah.
where's the gate key? I don't know where
So
the gate key
what
is.
are-
Rip his
so
arms
what are
off.
we being-
Oh, this gate key.
it's the gate.
So what are we being investigated for?
So Kitsune Koji has been tasked by an emerald magistrate named Matsu Yutako to investigate one Doji Izanagi and all of his associates because the incidents involving shapeshifters have always revolved around him as well as his father, Doji Dai.
Yep.
So they want to see if there is any correlation and whether or not your family has ties to Maho.
And it doesn't help that I've been reading up on things to help out my wife.
Correct.
Great.
But nobody put that together or told them.
So I have nothing to hide.
oh, neither do I. That's right. It's all
Ask me any questions
good.
you wish. I could tell you the entire story of how we stumbled upon the shapeshifters the first time, and how we have been finding the same kami drawn here since we arrived. But for all I know, they've been here before we arrived.
That's really cool with me, man. That's cool. Like I said, I'm just here just for the festivities. I figured, hey, great way to leave the village and meet some great people along these travels. I honestly, like I said, I was tasked with this and I'm here. You know?
Okay. I look over at Mori-san. Is Mori still fuming?
Oh yeah, like the apology aside, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. And Togashi has not looked in
So the
their
anger-
direction whatsoever.
So the anger, is it at the lion or at the monk?
No, but the moment that the lion was like, "We're all friends here," I was like, "Nah."
Okay, but can I read where they're aiming most of their anger at? Is it the monk or the lion? Like where
Well,
do you glance at the most?
75% monk,
Okay.
25% lion for annoying me by saying that we're all friends.
Got it.
Noted.
And the moment like you look back and he's like, "I don't know why I'm here," like just glares. Then why the fuck are you here anyways?
Wait a minute.
He
Aren't monks for the most part separated from their family?
Mm-hmm.
Once you're a monk, you're an outcast of your family for all intents and purposes.
Correct. You are not samurai caste.
Yeah.
You're barely better than peasants.
I'm wondering. I am actually,
which is
for a
why
second,
he refused the duel against me,
For
not
a second-
because he was afraid of me, but because of the castes of them.
for a second, I'm very confused because I'm like, if there was any other dragon that this dragon would have got along with, was a dragon who decided to go F you to the dragon and go on their own way.
You're right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And the Togashi is shoeless. The bottom of his kimono pants are like torn. And even though they're clean because they have to be in Kitsune's company, like you can see the age and the wear and tear. Like the collar looks like it might have started off very clean and precise, but it looks like it's been grabbed several times in several places. Like it is all kind of hilly and bumpy, like just a mountain range of creases. Whereas like Kitsune is clean cut, like every line is very crane, meticulous, kind of angles are as they should be. The two are completely different sides of the coin.
As you can see, our Kitsune friend, the Doji is the paragon of innocence with nothing to hide, and we have satisfied the inquiry to the letter in all ways, as you have no further questions. So it stands to reason that either one of three things will happen next. One, you will return to the ones who gave you the missive, pronouncing our innocence for all time. I don't think that that's going to happen because you were sent here to get rid of you. Two, you will return and claim that we are the foulest of villains, which I also don't think that you are going to do. Or three, we should have you accompany us just so we can verify our innocence going forward.
And there's a glare to Soshi, like, the fuck?
Actually, I like that third option.
And then another glare, another the fuck.
I like the third option. The first option, I don't mind doing, but I really do not want to go back. I really don't want to go back.
Sent you whomever sent you on this little errand, as you admitted last time, you don't know why you were selected, but it was whilst you were digging around certain things, is entangling you in a situation that you really shouldn't be involved in. They want you to be embroiled in it, and they want something inevitably terrible to happen to you. Call it hunch. Therefore, it seems that you would be safest with those you are seeking to investigate.
Wait a minute. Are you saying I have a reputation that people that go around me don't come back?
No.
It felt implied.
But I'm saying that there is an investigation that implies that people that are around you are getting murdered, or that you're in truck with fell sorcery. Therefore, were I attempting to get rid of someone, or needed someone out of the way, I would send them to investigate a situation where people keep dying or are corrupted by fell sorcery.
Or we need to find more places where these commies have been drawn into the floor.
Correct.
Or into walls.
Which ties into being murdered and fell sorcery.
Agreed. So, Lion. Actually, your first name is... I mean, your family is... Kitsune?
Kitsune.
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 Kitsune-san, is there anything else you wish to ask of or my experiences?
Actually, there is one thing that's been troubling me, and this is
Do
a
not need
serious
the monk,
question.
however.
Do not what?
Oh, I was continuing, and that is that we do not require the monk.
Oh.
Oh. It,
This is, after all, a investigation that has been ordered by the magistrates, which would make it an imperial matter, one for the samurai caste, and unfortunately, we cannot guarantee the safety of one who is not. It wouldn't be becoming for that kind of collateral damage in the event that the murders happen to point towards someone who is not in the celestial ordainment to be able to handle them.
True. It would
Oh,
put
no.
his life at risk.
oh no, but Miwa can take care of himself. It's quite all right.
He nods.
He can take care of himself. I've seen him like rip people apart with just his bare hands.
Yes, I've also seen an oxen run over people and a horse take the arm off a small child. That does not mean that I would invite it along on a murder investigation, nor expect it to survive a demon attack.
And let's just say that a katana snapped in two when I tried to plunge it into one of these creatures' bodies. I seriously doubt hands will do much.
No, Miwa's pretty good.
I have feet too.
He's got two hands, and I've seen him do some impressive things. But hey, if that's what you all want, then we can work something out.
I'm not saying needs. I am saying propriety.
Mori leans forward and asks, Mirio, you want to stick around?
No.
Then don't.
There you go.
Slams his hand on the table. One of the first things I've understood. And he walks by you.
I don't look at him. Like, I only looked at him for that moment, and that's it.
He hasn't looked at you at all.
Mm-mm.
Did he leave?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I told him to.
Yep.
Yeah, all right.
In plain English.
I look over to Mori and I just give a little like well fucking done.
Yeah, the two conversationalists over fucking here.
Well, now that bloodless little soiree has been completed, I guess welcome to the team.
A firework goes off. And then another one.
I still have a question.
And then just a little explosions of color fill the sky above the town.
Mori takes Mirio's seat right next to Koji.
Okay.
So, back to my serious question.
Mhm.
Yes.
Doji,
Yes.
and all of your experience,
Yes.
what is your favorite tea? In all of your travels. Think, because this is a very serious question, like I said I had.
There's a very sharp turn from Mori's head. Is this how you're gonna be the entire time?
What do you mean?
I love it.
That would be a
Personally.
Koshi black tea from the Crablands.
Oh. Oh. Very intriguing.
It's very,
Very.
very bitter, an acquired taste.
Nice. Yes. Says a lot about your character, too.
Sometimes we suffer through things to enjoy things.
This is gonna be fantastic. Awesome. This is just great.
You hear
And I look at I look at each one of them.
Yeah, as you're
Each
looking,
one
you
of them, and
hear
I
the
just smile.
fanfare, and you see all of the students just kind of get up and start making their way over to the proving ground.
Yes, I need to make sure that my student wins. So if we could adjourn and watch
Raise
the
an
competition.
eyebrow. Really? You're going to
What?
make sure that your student wins?
Oh, the
I'm
three of
going
you.
to make sure he places appropriately. If you're going to compete and you're the only scorpion in competition, I believe, then you need to place well.
Wait a minute, you only have
Yeah.
one. You only have one scorpion here.
If I remember, we only had one that was competing in archery, correct?
Nope, all the students are competing in all the events.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I
All
thought.
right,
For a
yeah.
second, I was like, they only brought one. I was.
Well, I only have one student.
You're
so
responsible for it, yes.
yeah.
When you go out to the fields, you will see that there are bleachers that have been set up. There is a special kind of box that sits at the top of the bleachers. It's covered with beautiful imperial colors of just these long banners for kind of shade and comfort that have the Miwa insignia, but they're dressed in the accents of crane colors, in particular the Doji family crest to represent the wife, Doji Rurumeiji. She is sitting by herself in the box. Her husband is nowhere to be found. And you will also notice that there are 6 targets, one for each of the clans, and each of the targets are laid out and colored according to those clans. They're very showy here. Each student is given 5 arrows. Their 3 best are counted towards their final score. And as the morning progresses, you will see. The average scores for the Crab Clan come out to 15. The average score for the Crane Clan comes out to 25. The average score of the Dragon Clan comes out to 13. The average score of the Lion Clan comes out to 15. The average score of the Phoenix Clan comes down to 8.
Oof.
And the average score of the Scorpion Clan comes out as being 17. The Crane clearly take the lead on day 1.
How did that one Shukenja do?
I'll tell you right now. The Asahina actually scored the best out of your entire representation.
I am very proud.
The 3 arrows that counted towards his score were all bullseyes.
Nice.
How'd my boy do? The one I was coaching with the right fletching.
Your Soshi
Bottling.
your Soshi tried, but ended up with a score of 13, which is half the score of the best student that participated, which is the Shisuro.
Well, that's a
Oh,
given. Yeah, that makes sense.
the most
I'm
important score.
Hmm.
How did my daughter do?
Oh, there's Daddy's question.
Well.
Minamoto Kawa scored 25.
Damn.
Yeah.
Everybody sees me like.
The Crane, for the most part, all scored above 20.
Of course, it's air.
She was second place. The Kakita was third place, and then the Daidoji was the last one of the group.
Okay. So
Might have put it
during
himself well, ish.
But the event does take up the majority of the morning.
Yeah.
But they have a 2-hour break between the end of the event and the poetry contest.
So I know what we're looking for. We're looking for those kami. Damn, if it wasn't for the caste system, how would a samurai go about letting the populace know that if anybody sees any one of these symbols, to let them know in a proper way?
I mean, you can just order them. You're samurai.
No, I can, but the thing is, I would tell, but I wouldn't tell guards to do it. I wouldn't want to tell peasants to tell other peasants.
Yeah.
So that's
the
what
key is to speak with them
what
on their level and to request it as opposed to order it.
No, I'm requesting it.
Yeah.
I'm saying
as the hero of the people, I can tell you that.
The way I will phrase it is that it would be a great honor if they found these and were able to tell us.
I mean, you've got a great resource in your favorite Edda. Like they are of the people.
I call
them.
I call them.
Maury has been so fucking angry for the past couple of days.
I also literally have an advantage called Hero of the People.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you were just giving yourself a fucking compliment.
Like all
No,
Scorpion.
I'm actually naming a class skill that I have.
Yeah.
I'm.
Yeah.
So
peasants love Soshi.
We will do this in the 2-hour break.
Yeah. Yeah, and it takes about half an hour from you getting the word out to the Edda making themselves presentable and showing up. And when they do show up, all of you, I'm assuming, are still gathered together. So This will be the first time that Kitsune Koji gets to meet this wonderful human being that is the scum of the earth compared to everybody that you've met so far, because they're at the bottom of the celestial pyramid. But the Edda comes up, his wife behind him, and they bow low. And
I bow lower than I did when Koji was in the fucking tea house.
And he kind of keeps his eyes down. You've summoned us, my lord.
You could stand.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate it.
We have been looking for kaji symbols that are been drawn into the ground or into walls. I describe them.
Oh.
I would like you to ask everyone you know.
Sure.
If they've seen them, and if you know of any of them, to come to us and tell us where they are.
Yeah, well, I've seen that one, and he points to the one for gold.
Where?
Oh, the old temple up north. Can't miss it.
Have we seen that one yet?
Nope. Not you.
No, not me.
Yes,
I know. Other people have seen it and not mentioned it.
Yeah, they sure have.
Correct. Yep.
Put the word out to see if any other ones have been seen.
You got it, Lord.
Thank you.
Yep.
You may go.
I appreciate you.
I wish fist pumping was appropriate in this time era. So, like on the way out.
Yeah.
We appreciate your help too. I mentioned that as he walks away.
And he turns and he kind of stops for a moment. And he's like, "Hey, it's good to be appreciated. I appreciate you appreciating me."
I love him. I whisper to Doji, I love him.
Okay. I need some sake.
Does,
I
does
go
he
back to
travel
our
with us? Also?
Noon.
Is he going to travel with us
Exactly.
as well?
It's noon. It's a time to. No, 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 no.
What?
Him?
No.
Him?
Yes.
The one walking
Yes.
away? No, no. He's not traveling with us.
Oh.
What a
Okay.
different game that would be.
No.
I would have. It would be a pleasure.
No. God, I need sake. I gotta go right to the tent.
I just figured since he was being so helpful that he would be joining us on our travels too.
Actually, and if I know when we get to, so my family would have its own like little area,
Mhm.
which I invite all of you to, and it's a poetry competition, which means my wife will be there. Yeah,
Correct.
she'll miss the archery competition.
Yep.
She's not gonna miss a poetry competition.
Not at all. Who's gonna go? Who's gonna join Doji? So I know whether or not we need to separate to see two different scenes or more.
I will stick around.
Yep.
It's poetry. Why not?
I mean, for the
I
afternoon
will-
afternoon sake, who's gonna join Doji?
Well, it's sake and probably I'm not a barbarian. It's gonna be sake and something to eat.
It's lunch.
It's lunch.
I will join you for sake, but not for lunch.
I would join. For lunch.
Actually, there was something that was left behind.
Given
that-
how much his wife loves me, I can't wait to go to lunch with them.
Perfect. Perfect.
Do it.
Yeah.
Actually,
plus
there was
it's gonna-
something. There was something that was left behind that
You
I
got us
might
all to go
have.
along with you to lunch, and now you want to do the other thing.
No. I might have it instead of the sake because my friend gave me the bottle of gourd.
He did.
Mhm.
Gave you his gourd.
I'm gonna have some gourd.
Okay.
I still pour sake for my friends.
Is there not sake in gourd?
There is not.
No.
That is homebrewed.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's some strong shit.
Yeah. That's
Actually, I asked if anybody would like some.
that's shine.
Yes, it's basically moonshine.
No, thank you. I value the quality of my organs.
I must respectfully pass as well, Doji-san.
So you did get to talk to him before he left.
Yes, you never gave me a chance to say it.
I didn't know that.
But Tamori does recognize the gourd.
That's
You
why.
did-
That's why I asked him. That.
Actually, I look at her, I look at them, and I
Yeah.
go, "Would you like some?"
Yes.
I
would.
pour a little bit, and I offer the tap of glasses.
It looks like water, except
Mhm.
for like the little detritus of like a broken tree branch or like a shattered fig, but that just kind of clatters onto the dish. You can just pick it out and toss it or suck on it if you want to get some more of the shine in your system. But
Throw it back.
it's turpentine. It is fucking.
Oh, it's strong.
it's jet fuel.
Actually, the funny thing is, this is probably the first time that the lion has ever heard of a crane being able to drink this and not die.
It is most definitely crab.
Yeah,
Crab
and
or
as soon as
crab?
we crab, and as
Oh.
soon as we have our 2 shots, because
B
I
as in
want this
Brian.
bottle, I want this bottle to last. I close it.
Okay.
And I sit back and I wait for the poetry competition. And I look over and I go, and this is meant as a complete compliment. I'm like, I'm looking forward to the Scorpions' performance in this one.
Hopefully, we shall acquit ourselves well.
Well, your clan has always had a way with words. I'm sure they will do fantastic.
We will have the finest opponent in this regard in the crane.
Ugh, now you guys are being friendly. This isn't as fun anymore.
I don't know if this is friendly.
I mean, it's the friendliest we've seen.
This is the most graceful competition-based con we could possibly have at this moment. It was
Correct.
Correct.
I was proud of both of us for that. That was well done.
So between when we're waiting for the competition to begin,
Mhm.
I will tell the lion the story of everything that happened at the beginning.
Okay.
Like I will say this happened, and literally the entire story of events.
So you will get the tale of what happened in season
Season
1.
1.
Yeah.
Yep.
With the whole stuff about the shapeshifters and trying to stop the wedding.
And of course, I'm using my storytelling to make it sound amazing because I'm not only telling the story to him, I'm telling the story to everybody here.
And even some of the other crane that were like walking around, like the second you start to really get into the story, they stop and they kind of start to mill about. And by the time that you're done, there you can hear like the sniffling of like one person in the background. You can just hear like the quiet kind of one person clapping and then somebody shushing them, and everybody just kind of like scattering like roaches.
Can I add to that? Like, as he starts his story, not at first, but eventually, I start playing with the shaman
Yeah,
sign to go
course.
with his story.
Sure.
Oh, I'm gonna roll a storytelling to go along with that.
You don't need to. Don't worry about it.
That'll be awesome though if I roll like ridiculous.
Okay, Mori like they were sitting on the ground, but they lay on their back as like a Jesus.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
hold on. I make Mori sound fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
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 I just go with the
alright.
story.
Whatever.
Mori sounds fucking badass.
Nerd. But it comes time. The bells ring. Everybody kind of comes over. They announce that the participants will be given a jar that they'll have to pull out a topic, and then they'll have to write a haiku tanka out of it. And so nobody is prepared for the poetry competition. The crab score an average of 1 point out of a possible 5.
Eesh.
Ugh,
The crane score 3 on the average.
not bad.
Dragon score 1. Lion score 1. Phoenix score 2. And Scorpion score 2. Your
You guys-
daughter's word was family,
Oh god.
and her haiku was sister's voice is soft.
Oh,
She will take after mother. I find myself hard. Some claim tempered, like father. I will bear his name with pride.
I actually tear up. There's no way I'm holding that. Yeah, everybody sees me tear up. I'm still keeping myself, but yeah, there's yeah.
After all of
You
the
know what?
scores are tabulated,
Not only do I tear up,
Mhm.
but I actually reach over and grab my wife's hand.
this will be the first time that Kitsune Koji notices that Doji's wife is a dragon and in a wheelchair.
I often wonder what I miss out by having never spawned. Now I see why it is coveted. Someday my wife and I hope we'll have a child that does us as proud as your daughter has done you.
I bow low. And I
I
go,
return the bow.
the best way I could describe it is living with your heart outside your body.
The scores are
I-
tabulated for the events of the day, and the Cranemon is put at the top of the standings. But everyone is given the next day to rest, as the field will be prepared for the.
That gives us a day to check out that temple.
As the next day's events, as far as the third day of the gempukku ceremony is concerned, will concern itself with a on-foot obstacle course for the morning, a no-holds-barred race that Tamori Mori will remember from her gempukku, from their gempukku ceremony.
Oh,
And the afternoon event will be a painting. So it'll be interesting to see how the numbers change as we move forward. But as the first day events kind of come to a close, I think this is a good point to call it for tonight.
Okay.
So keep whatever you want to do, because we will start the next episode with either any evening shenanigans you want to get into, or just shift right into the next day. So hold on to whatever you want to do. And as always, I want to thank you guys. It's been a while since we got to play. Now we got everybody together. We're on a mission from God, getting the band back together. And I want to thank the audience. We wouldn't be able to do this without you guys. So as always, I want to give you guys a chance to plug whatever you're up to. I've been pretty bad about it the last couple of sessions, and I can be a terrible human being sometimes. But let's start with you, Pete. What do you got going on, and where can people find you on the internet if you want to be found?
Well, you guys can find me at StatMonkey on Instagram. I'm part of a small publishing company, Paradigm Concepts. We have a Kickstarter coming up soon for Tome of Adventures Volume 2.
Okay.
In Arcanus. And I am working still on Rotted Capes 2nd edition and almost wrapped up with the playtesting.
I cannot wait to get a copy of that so I can run a one shot.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
I'll test the system out for you. Ben, what are you up to? Where can people find you on the internet if you want to be found?
I like that you added that extra part.
Right?
I'm on the artist formerly known as Twitter app as Rev Ben Powers. I will be part of the Old Gods of Appalachia game.
I am so looking forward to
October on McStabber Studios.
Yep.
So that will be pimped literally everywhere. I am so excited. And otherwise, Cry in the Dark. That's pretty much the only other place to find me. So
okay.
Yeah.
Ray, what are you up to, and where can people find you on the internet if you want to be found?
Anything. I just have this game, and then every other Tuesday is Werewolf, and then Old Gods of Appalachia eventually.
On my channel.
Eventually.
Yeah.
I am so looking forward to watching that game.
Yeah. I'm excited for the McStabber Appalachia because it's going to be a test run for me as a DM, as a storyteller in the system. So I'm hoping that I can make as few mistakes as possible before we kick off our game.
So you're running Old Gods on 2 platforms?
Yes.
Damn.
And he's stuck with me in one of them.
Yeah. One is a miniseries, standalone, single, 3 or 4 episode story. Ours will be an actual continuing chronicle.
Nice.
Ike, well, what are you up to, and where can people find you on the internet if you want to be found?
I don't want to be found, but hey, every Tuesday playing L5R and Werewolf.
Yeah.
And hopefully I can add more stuff to the week with your games.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
No, I would have loved to be in Old Gods, but right now scheduling and this and that commitment.
Life comes first.
Yeah.
And you'll notice that a lot as you guys kind of follow the channel. If you guys want to hop on board, I don't treat this as a job because there's no money in this to be made. Everybody donates their time for this, and I appreciate all of them from the bottom of my heart. They give me a chance to tell stories and flex my creative muscle, and I hope in turn that I get to help them flex their creative muscle. It's consensual muscle flexing, if you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Wash my balls in the river. But as a segue, we take mental health on the channel very seriously. So if you feel like you need help, please know that there are resources out there for you. I think this was the smoothest segue I've ever done in my channel's history. If you're watching live, there's going to be phone numbers on our Twitch chat going up. They'll be in the description box if you're watching on YouTube later. If you don't live in the United States or you're having trouble with the phone numbers in particular, there's a link going up to help you find resources in the area closest to you. because it is, people need to know that it is okay to not be okay, you know. And if you're a friend or family member of somebody that is a strong or happy-go-lucky personality, please check in on them. You never know how a simple hello or how are you text can change the trajectory of somebody's life. So, you know, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and as always, you can catch us here on Mondays with our Vampire the Masquerade 2-part story. There's two coteries that we follow, an Anarch coterie and a Camarilla coterie. Tuesdays we do Werewolf of the Wild West or Legend of the Five Rings like we did tonight. Thursdays right now are only for 7th Sea alternating, but it will be picking up Old Gods of Appalachia in November. And right now, if you want to catch me as a player on McStabber Studios, I am reprising my role of Jerry from our Monster Hearts campaign as we go into a season 2, which is on Fridays. And not tomorrow or this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, we should be starting up our 2nd season of Vampire the Dark Ages, where you get to see me be an adorably innocent La Sombra who would never burn down a village ever in his life or on life. So
Never.
there are plenty of opportunities to catch any of us. I thank you once again for being a part of this. I thank you, my players, because this is, I cannot wait to see how you incorporate Ike into all of your shenanigans. You have a whole day off to do that. But please take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you when we see you. Have a good night, guys. Bye.
Later.